Hi, welcome to 2021 and welcome to our first Magellan Network Show of the new year. First off, I hope all of you had a safe holiday. I would normally say, I hope you had a great holiday. We know with COVID and everything, it is what it is. I was going to come to you this morning and shooting this video and give you like 3 to 4 to 8 strategies on how to make 2021 your best year. That was my intent when I woke up this morning. And then I got ready to shoot and I realized that, that's really premature. The strategies are great, only if you use them. Concepts are powerful, only if you deploy them. So, what I want to do with our time in this episode is really just kind of have a conversation with you. Now, some of you who watch this are clients of mine. Some of you are members of our tribe, Magellan Network. Some of you are just advisors who plug into my work and to get ideas or concepts or to check in and see what's going on, and it's great too. But here's the reality for 2021. All of us have got to make a decision. How are we going to approach this year? So let's talk about mindset decision today. But then next episode, I'll give you some strategies. So number one, how are you looking at this year? Are you looking at it as another year of survival, another year of scarcity? And there's no question we're going to have adversity, right? We had a ton of adversity last year. We're going to continue to have adversity this year. But let me say this. And for those personal clients of mine and those in network, you know this because you've been spending time with me for the last several months. There is no direct correlation to situation, environment, and result. Repeat that. There is no direct correlation between situation, environment, and result. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, our experiences, my personal experiences with clients, advisors, is that a vast majority, I would say probably upwards of 90%, were up in 2020, from 5% to 28, 29%, bringing in 4 to 5 new clients to 20 to 30 new clients during a pandemic. So what do we learn from that? What do we take from that? Well, that this is what you make of it. And so you're either going to go into this year trying to survive and hope things work out, or you're going to come into this year committed to change, committed to elevation. Look, in our industry, we can debate it, but the reality is this, this pandemic has forced change. It has caused us to virtualize. And I know some advisors are sitting there going, well, I'm just not good on Zoom. Well, get good. Well, I need to be in front of somebody, look in the eye and shake their hand. Figure it out. Or you're going to have this narrative. And here's the key thing. Take responsibility and ownership. Don't sit there and say, well, the pandemic and my branch is closed and my assistant has to homeschool their kids and all the excuses. There's always a way to overcome them. But if you like the narrative that you're a victim, right? Well, now it's not your fault. You can look in the mirror every day and say, hey, it's not me. It's all these other things. That is your critical mistake. It is always you. So your situation today, as we're in the first basically week of a new year, and your results of 2020 are 100% on you. Now, some of you just heard that and you're going to, I'm done listening to this guy. I'm done watching this guy because I don't like it. Truth hurts. Truth hurts. See, here's what I know. There's always a way if you're committed. There's always a way. And the reality is many of you who watch and listen have been in this game for 5 years, decades. And you know what was fascinating? When we did our debrief of my personal clients, my tribe inside of Magellan Network, some of our mastermind groups, all new 92 to 93.5% of all new households that my tribes generated this past year came from referrals from clients and referrals from centers of influence. They were not from seminars and social media and Facebook ads and all these other things. They came from doing the work. See, I think a lot of times it's about application of energy. Many advisors look at, well, I work hard, Joe, I work hard. I put the time in. I said, what do you do? Well, what do you mean put the time in? Well, I'm up early. I get to the office. I'm in by 7:30. I don't leave till 5:30. I do some work on Saturday. But what are you doing? So you're just kind of watching CNBC and answering emails like a help desk and just getting all sideways. That's not going to produce anything. What you have is basically maybe a decent slash high paying job. What you really want to do is look in the mirror and say, am I ready to really go to work and do the work, the right work, the proper work? Now, what is the proper work? Getting your mind right first, right? Number one, I don't care who you hire, what system you buy, how much money you spend on Facebook ads and seminars and media and marketing and all that jazz. If you do not have this right, it is not going to yield you the result that you want. And then guess what? Who do you blame? You blame the seminar people, your firm, right? All the Facebook people, they suck. My consultants, right? All these online. No, no, you suck. And until you can say that, then you'll never change. Never change. See, this game of ours, and I call it a game very specifically, because I think a lot of times we make it like life and death, and what we do is incredibly important as advisors. But if you look at this as every day's life or death, or every situation is like you're hanging by a thread, you're going to be so stressed out you can't be effective. So I call it a game. And you've got to approach it as such. So inside the game here, it is 80% psychology mindset, 20% mechanics. Now, for most advisors, they'll focus on mechanics. Why? It's a safe place. I'm going to go hire a practice management person. They're going to help me with my segmentation and my workflows and everything else. Great, great. I use the analogy of like a race team, right? There's the car and the driver. So what all the practice management people do, and what most of the marketers do, is they work on the car. We're going to get the car better. We're going to fix it. We're going to get organized, right? We're going to segment you. We're going to give you call rotations. We're going to give you workflows. We're going to give you an onboarding process for new clients, right? We're going to give you all that stuff. And the marketers will, hey, we're going to run Facebook ads. You're going to do content. We're going to have funnels built for you, online learnings, things like that. Great. All the car. The car is only part of the equation. It's the driver, you, that determines success or failure. Think about it. If I have a world-class car setup, chassis builder, engine builder, right? Good pit crew, good crew chief. And my driver's mediocre, how many races am I going to win? If I have an okay car, decent pit crew, and I got a world-class stud driver, I got a better chance of winning that race. Reality. Same exact principles in this business. What makes me different than any other coach, consultant, whoever you want to run across is that I'm the driver guy. That's my focus. Do you know why? That's the hard work. Getting an advisor to wake up in the morning and change their behavior, change their mindset, shift their beliefs, understand their human needs, change their internal dialogue, improve their self-image or self-identity. It is not a one-page, here's what you need to do. It's the work. Your bank account, as it currently sits right now, is a reflection of your past mindset, period. If you want to improve your bank account in the future, you must improve/shift your mindset. That is what has to happen. Because when you do that, you'll now deploy the things that you buy. The marketing programs and the practice management stuff. Stop looking for silver bullets and do the work. The work is you. Your business is a reflection of you, period. If it is disorganized, if there are no goals, if it's just kind of showing up every day and trying to get through the day, that is a reflection of who you are as a person, period. So if you want to change your business results, guess what? You must be willing to have an honest conversation with yourself, look in the mirror and say, I am the problem and I am the solution. Once you do that, then the next question, what am I going to do differently, right? Because we all know the definition of insanity is what? Let's approach the thing the same way, with the same mindset, with same habits, same rituals, and expect a different result, an improved result. It's a fool's game. All you must change. You must elevate. You must shift. And if your belief is, well, I've been at this for 25 years, I'm probably too old to change. You're right. You're 100% right. Because if you believe you can't do something, you're done. If you believe you can't shift, or I just can't get up early, you're right. I just can't ask for referrals. You're right. My firm holds me back. That's the story you tell yourself. Guess what? You're right. You abdicate responsibility. You're a victim. Good for you. But I've watched the last 10 months advisors that I work with, that I lead, do incredible things in a pandemic. So I have zero sympathy for some of you out there who just want to be victims. And you've got to make a decision because the game is changing. There's more technology, not less technology. There's more virtualization, not less virtualization, right? There's more opportunity, not enough. So here's the interesting thing. How would you answer this question? Do you believe there's more opportunities for business today or less opportunities for business? Or there are more opportunities for growth or less opportunities for growth? Right now, today, as you watch this video or listen to me on podcast, what do you think? Because, if you think about it, boomers are still retiring, advisors are still retiring. So what has really changed in those two dynamics? Nothing. In fact, maybe it's accelerated, as a matter of fact. As advisors reassess whether they want to stay in this game with all the new regs, rules, and things like that, the new environment, right? And some people can retire. Market's been good, and maybe it's time to cash in and get out and retire, right? Boomers are going to retire. More opportunity, not less opportunity. But if you have your head up your butt and you're starting your day every day with the news and email, and you look at who you hang with, and they're all negative and wrapped up in politics and all the other stuff that, I'm not saying it's unimportant, but at the end of the day, you decide how your world goes, no one else. If you empower third parties, and I'll let you define what a third party means to you. If you empower that third party, that they, my worldview, whether I believe I could be successful or not, whether or not I could be happy or not, is predicated on some outside force with all the noise, social media, stuff coming at you, are literally screwed. You know what I did over the holidays? I went through all my associations, Facebook, LinkedIn, even people personally, and I put them into three categories. People that support me, that add energy to my world, that are engines of elevation. Then I put people that are kind of neutral. They don't bother, they don't add, they don't subtract. They're just kind of there. And then I put people who are negative, who are not the engine of elevation. They are the anchor that holds you down. And you know what I did with them? I cut them off. Who you associate with is a great precursor and predictor of your future results. So if you're in a situation where you're hanging out with a bunch of other advisors on Zoom or wherever you're at, and everybody's moaning, complaining, and bitching and doing their thing, and hey, guess what? You're going to do the same thing. Those birds of a feather. You got to ask yourself in 2021, this year, what am I going to do different? How am I going to elevate? What changes am I willing to make? Oh, and let's not forget this. There's no free lunch here. Are you ready to get uncomfortable, do the work, and claim your destiny? Because ultimately, that's on you. You know the beauty of this game? And I've been at this now for a long time. I've watched personal clients of mine kind of make some minor moves right over a period of years. And then one day it clicks and they literally double their business in 2 to 3 years. It's like they're unshackled, they're unchained because it just clicks. And for several, it happened this past year where they went from this scarcity, fear, you know, relational insecurity with their clients to mastering their game. And I'm not saying it's all about money, but I'll tell you what, money's a resource. Whether you use it for yourself, your family, charitable organizations, or your passions, it is better to have capital than not have capital. Remember, there are stresses of scarcity and stresses of abundance. I would prefer the stress of abundance because it comes with a bigger bank account. And for some of you who lead, and let's face it, we're all leaders. And that's the one thing I noticed this past year. The advisors who really took on the leadership role with their teams, their families, their clients, they really understood that, really elevated this past year. So, what are you going to do? What's your game plan for 2021? Is it going to be a repeat of 2020 with some new hope? Or are you ready to declare it's time? It's time to make a change. It's time to elevate. And I will give you one strategy before I wrap up this week. I'll give you the rest next week. How you spend the first hour of a day determines how that day is going to go. So, if you're waking up and you're going to grab your phone and you're going to go to your email, then you go to your news alerts, which you should get rid of, by the way, and you kind of start sucking in all the noxious and toxic things that are around us. And you wonder why you get up and you're not in a great mood. You wonder why, almost like you get up and you're pissed off. And then you come in and you use the word job and you get through the day and it's like, you're hopeful right now, right? 'Cause it's a new year. Everybody does their resolutions, right? We get some hope here, but we all know it's gone by February 1st for 98% of the people. They slip right back into their patterns. So don't do that this year. Control the first hour. What do? Number one is you sit and maybe you just have a conversation with yourself. Maybe you do some gratitudes. Maybe you exercise a little bit. Maybe you dust off one of those personal development books that you bought 10 years ago and never read. Maybe you go for a walk and find a podcast. Fill your mind with positive things. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's the action we take. Control the first hour of the day. You control the day. Your email will be there in 60 minutes. The news will be there in 60 minutes. If a meteorite is going to strike the planet, guess what? It won't matter. Take the first hour of the day. Now, one last thing. If this made any sense to you whatsoever, and you believe you're ready, I'm inviting you to come spend 14 days with me. 2 weeks. Let me help indoctrinate you into a ecosystem, associations, and a tribe of men and women, like-minded advisors who get this. MagellanNetwork.net. Come hang with me for 14 days. And let's change your outcomes for 2021. Thank you for listening, watching this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Happy 2021. And I promise you next week, I'm going to give you some strategies to make this year your best year ever. But only if you're going to handle the space between your ears and make some decisions. Thank you. So there you have it. If you really enjoyed watching this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the Magellan Network Show with Coach Joe here on YouTube. And remember, I'm always here to help you become a better entrepreneur, business owner, and financial advisor. With that, I'll see you next time on the Magellan Network Show with me, Coach Joe. Take care and goodbye.